12-year-old Fort Worth rapper sentenced to 7 years over shooting 1-year-old.
That big ass clown.
We got a 12-year-old.
Whoa! Did I just read that right? 12-year-old Fort Worth rapper sentenced to 7 years over blicking a 1-year-old.
FBI, open up!
7 years over shooting 1-year-old.
Oh my God.
That
bro.
big ass clown.
We got a 12-year-old baby savage by the name of Lil Rodney.
Lil Rod.
I was trying to see, could you at least give me one more chance?
I was 16 when I had her.
That's your mama?
At least give me one more chance.
I was 16 when I had her.
I was 16 when I had him. We can tell. Because he's slow as hell.
The
Little
young
boy
rapper
don't know how
was
to do
originally on
nothing but hold
probation
a gun.
for committing arson in 2019.
All I was trying to do was go.
The young rapper was originally on probation for committing arson in 2019.
Hey bro, I don't know about y'all, and maybe y'all might have heard about this before. This is blowing my mind. I can't believe it. This might be some of the craziest we done watched 2025. Phone them grave.
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral. And then
Alright guys, so grab a seat, get a snack, and get comfortable because in today's video, I have a very tragic story for you guys. And I'm going to be talking about the story of Lil Rodney and how the world failed him. And I know other YouTubers out there probably haven't even heard about the story yet, as it's been flying pretty low under the radar. And if they did,
I ain't never
they
heard
probably
about it.
thought it wasn't important enough to talk about because, you know, most of them are way too caught up on the 24/7 cycle of pointless internet drama that really doesn't have that much impact on the real world for the most part. Anyway, let's talk about Rodney. So Rodney is a 12-year-old rapper from Fort Worth, Texas, who's currently serving a 7-year jail sentence for shooting a 1-year-old baby. Yeah.
This is hey gang. I need like time to like
Yes, you heard that right. A gun that Rodney had in his possession was fired and hit
Bro,
a
this-
1-year-old child. Right. A gun that
this little boy got
Rodney had in his possession was fired and hit a 1-year-old child. Now, based on my understanding, the details under how and why the gun was fired are unknown. Like, I tried turning into my alter ego, Detective Destiny, to find out why this kid decided to shoot a literal baby, but I couldn't find any specific details. However, my best assumption is that he wasn't specifically targeting the baby because that wouldn't have made any sense. Like, what does he have against a baby? Like, nobody beefs with babies because, for starters, they can barely walk or talk. I mean, unless this kid just has some special affinity.
I think he probably was just playing with a gun because he thought it was cool because all his friends did that. This niggas like this, bro, be the same people that grow up to be 30, 40, and they be still slow and they still think it's cool and shit. Like, hold on, y'all, because y'all know I love putting y'all on to that easy money. Cashkick.com is a free to use cash rewards marketplace that helps you save and grow your money. This is some of the simplest and easiest ways to make money right now. All you have to do is play mobile games on your phone and you can earn up to $500 per deal. Now remember, I said cashkick.com is free to use, so they will never ever ask you to send them any type of money. Signing up is super easy. All you need is an email and a password. Once you sign up, all you have to do is download your first offer and start making money. Now your offers and reward amounts can change at any time. So that means you can download a game on your phone, play it for long enough, make $500 on one day, and the next day you can download a whole nother game, play it for long enough, make $300. Next day, same thing. This is some of the easiest money I can tell you about right now. And again, you can earn up to $500 per deal. So this is what I need you to do. Go to cashkick.com, make you an account, activate your account. Make sure you turn on allow tracking on your phone so that the app can actually track how much you're playing the game and earn you some of the easiest money you can make. Y'all can't say I ain't never did nothing for you. Skate.
Toward hating what are essentially just old people in baby form. The theory of him being out here in these streets targeting a baby out of revenge wouldn't make any sense. The more likely scenario, though, is that he was playing with an illegal gun.
Yep.
You know, the gun went off by accident, and the
But
bullet
where
flying
is he
out of the
getting all these
chamber in an
choppers from?
unspecified direction
going
accidentally hit a
on?
1-year-old child who was passing by. However, according to an article from hotnewhiphop.com, it says a young aspiring rapper will spend the next 7 years behind bars after he was found guilty of shooting a
So he's
1-year-old
12
child.
and he gonna
Lil
get out when
Rodney,
he probably
also known
21
as 30
or
Shots
20.
and Baby Savage, was just 11 years old when he reportedly shot the toddler.
He was
Rodney
only 11 when he did it.
from Fort Worth, Texas, had already been in trouble with the law in connection to an arson, so he was fitted with an ankle monitor.
Bro, do you know what my mama would have did to me if I went to jail for arson at fucking 10 years old and had an ankle monitor on? Oh my God. Bro, my mama would have sent me to the middle of Utah somewhere. Do you understand me, gang? I would have been in a crazy house, shorty. You think my mama, my black mama was gonna let, or my dad was gonna let, are you fucking crazy? And he's, what the fuck?
The young
I
rapper
wouldn't be
told
able
a
to
judge
leave
that he
like
cut the
that.
monitor off because he wanted to attend the funeral of a friend. However, he couldn't provide the friend's name. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff to unpack. And by the time this kid gets out of jail, it'll be the year 2028. You know, the iPhone 7 would have been released. Cars will no longer require human beings to drive them, and the cure for all cancers would have been found. In all seriousness though, this kid is royally fucked, especially since he has a prior criminal record for intentionally setting things on fire. And
Dang.
I don't know the specifics of what exactly he set on fire,
going
as
on,
he's a
bro?
minor, and I believe those details could not be shared to the public
Right.
because of his age. But obviously, you gotta be a little bit unstable to be setting shit on fire for fun. Although, after doing some digging around, I did manage to find a video of either Lil Rodney or one of his associates setting one of their friends who was sleeping in his car on fire. Check it out.
So they thought this was funny? Bro, what the? Like, what? Bro.
So yeah, as you can see in the video, you know, that man or the kid, whoever he is, he was just trying to catch some Z's. He was just, you know, taking
Bro,
a nap.
what the fuck is going on, bro? What are we
Trying
watching?
to rejuvenate his body and soul. And then you got these weirdos out here who are intentionally setting fire to his head. And I don't know how far that fire got, but it looked like it was burning right through the hood and
hood,
straight to
yeah.
his hair. Like, my God, what in the... But anyways, as for the 1-year-old Rodney shot, reports indicate that the baby did indeed survive
Oh,
the
thank
shooting.
God. Woo. Thank you.
It says here in a report from JordanThriller.com, police allege Lil Rodney shot a 1-year-old baby after he cut off his ankle monitor, which he had to wear due to a previous arson charge.
he cut it off
The baby
again.
miraculously survived. And luckily for Rodney, that kid survived because instead of getting out at 19, he would have been getting out of jail with a full head of gray hair and a full beard.
Yeah, for
Reports
sure.
say that he's also in a gang, the Crips, and goes by the name 30 Shots or Baby Savage.
Oh my God.
All right, so y'all know the Baby Savage, the 12-year-old Lil Rodney. The first time we reported on him, he pretty much was giving the op the beats because his ops had dissed on the 8 Gang Guide J-Dub Channel 5.
But anyway, for his crimes, Rodney had to appear in court in front of a man named Judge Kim, who he's come across many times in the past before, and he had to hear how his future would be judged.
You do have a right to remain silent. You give up that right. Anything you say at a detention cannot be used against you at
Put a
any other
judge
time.
out right there.
All right, so Rodney, you and I are familiar with each other. You are 11 years old. Wait a minute, yesterday was your birthday.
Yes, sir.
Now you're 12 years old. So, well, happy birthday. I'm sorry you had to spend it here at a detention facility. All right, so you were here you're on probation for arson, and that is from 2019.
I ain't gonna lie,
And
bro.
we've had all kinds of problems. Most recently, I let you go. You come in and out. I've always let you go because you're so young. I mean, you're 11 years old.
Hey,
Right?
man.
So I didn't want to keep an 11-year-old in here. Now there is evidently a new charge that was filed relating back to April. And that's the one where you shot the 1-year-old, Mr. Spence?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Like a 1-year-old baby.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so he's on probation for arson. He's accused of shooting a baby.
Do you
at
think
11
so? You think, okay, he did all that before he was 11 years old. What is the chances of, do you really think he finna go do 7 years in prison? In a juvenile prison, and you think he gonna come out, he gonna be fighting, he gonna be sneaking, he gonna be crazy, he gonna be locked up all that time, you feel me? You think he gonna come back and be a regular nigga? Hell no.
Years old, and he's smoking weed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Moore, what should I do at this point? Like, where am I at?
I don't know, but I was trying to see, could you at least give me one more chance and then see if this time I mess up, you should like hold me for some months.
Yeah, but didn't you say that last time? You told
Some months? Are you fucking crazy?
me you hold you for a year last time if I mess up, didn't you?
Never said that. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, you told me that
He
I
trying
can
to
hold
play
you next
stupid
time to
now.
give you one more chance.
He trying to
Actually,
play
you
that
said
innocent
two
card.
times. So, and remember, the last
You're
time I
not
said, well, that's
stupid,
what you
bro.
said last time.
You
Why should I believe you this time?
So, as you can clearly see, Rodney was asking Judge Kim for a second chance, like any
No.
kid in that situation would. But the reactions from everybody watching when he said that says it all.
Right.
I mean, it's clear as day that Rodney doesn't understand the gravity of the entire situation. He doesn't seem to have a firm grip on the reality of the circumstances.
No.
I guess he just doesn't understand that shooting a baby is something that most people would be locked away in prison
Forever.
for the rest of their lives
Right.
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral. And I asked Mr. Spence, and he said no. And then I missed JV and stuff because I was in here. And every time I miss one of my friends. So I tried to go to the funeral.
No, we want to see that baby Savage right now. I don't give a damn how old he is, folks. Because it be grown ass men doing the same thing. You feel me? Like, and I feel like this where they be getting it from, gang. I'm trying to figure out where his mama was at. You feel me? Because at 11, 12 years old, I knew what prison was. And I was most scared of my mama than I would ever be of the police. I was most scared of what my parents was going to do. My mama and my dad was going to do more than I was scared of the damn police. Are you crazy, nigga? You feel me? But no, we don't want to hear no crying and how hurt you was. We want that baby Savage to come out. Where them glums with them drums at, shorty?
Mike didn't let me go because I didn't know my friend's last name. And then
How does
I just had to because I didn't want to make more.
what about missing your funeral?
point at this point, okay?
So they want guns at the funeral?
Right.
Is that where you're trying to go?
No, that was a long time after the funeral, Your Honor.
How do you go into a funeral lead to shooting a baby?
Pretty sad stuff, to be honest, and I kind of feel bad for the kid. But I do think that
I
the
feel
judge
bad.
is doing
I mean,
him a
I do
favor
too,
by
but
putting
where the
him in
mama
a
at?
juvenile detention center, because oftentimes in situations like this, you have no other options, especially
Yeah.
when they are repeat offenders.
Right.
You know, it's better to get them off the streets and put them in facilities with professionals in hopes that they can help them hop off the dangerous path that they're all unfortunately on. And now, the thing you guys are probably all wondering is, how? How did a kid who's only been alive for only 12 years, born in 2008 and not even a teenager yet, end up in
2008.
such a
Damn.
compromised position in life?
That's
Well,
crazy.
it all started on the day of September 15th in the year 2008. And on that day, Rodney was born to a 16-year-old mother whose father quickly abandoned him after he was born. Rodney's mom, now being a single mother with an already troubled life of her own, was now tasked with a responsibility that she was definitely not ready for. In an interview, I found that
And
Rodney's
then I
mom
blame his mama, I blame her mama, and it's just gonna keep getting blamed, gang. Cause on phone now I'm like, no, gang, no. You think my daughter is having a child at 16 years old? Are you fucking crazy? First of all, my daughter is going to know. This parent Mako. I ain't got no kids yet, but my daughter is going to know what sex is. My daughter is going to know that having sex at 16, yeah, I'm not going to be that mad at you. But I'm going to explain to my daughter, once she's about 11, 12 years old, hey, this is, you know, you don't have sex raw. You feel me? This is your ovulation week, so I don't give a damn what you talking about. You ain't getting pregnant at no damn 16. Like, you feel me? Then you get pregnant at 16. The dad run off. That always happen. No.
Took
gang.
after his hearing with
No.
Judge Kim. The interviewer asked her what happened to his biological father, and this is what she had to say about him.
What happened with his biological father?
I mean, nothing happened to him. It was kind of middle school, high school, you know, sweethearts or whatever you got it. And then, like, when I got older, shit, he didn't ever act like he wanted to step up. So, shit, I never looked back at nothing. I just thought I stepped up for all his part and mine this whole time. I never looked back. I don't got time to be.
Well, you wasn't doing a good job.
Or what he gonna do? No birthdays, Christmas. He just non-existent to me. I don't look for him. He don't look for me, and that's cool. Like,
So you see, Rodney, from the time he came into this world, he was already at a major disadvantage.
He's set
And
up
the
to
mom
fail.
acts like she's totally fine with
Look
some
who
dude
she's.
not.
Who are you standing? Who is these two people on the side of you? If he 12, you had him at 16. You 28, ma'am. You grown as hell.
Picking her up at 16 and leaving her with a baby boy all to herself to raise. But we all know that she's hurt by the fact that he never came back once to see his son. But despite that fact, she said she stepped up and tried to fill the shoes for both mother and father for Rodney. But like I said before, with her being 16, having a troubled life of her own, and obviously not being ready to be a mother, she does admit that she has been to jail 2 different times since Rodney's been alive.
Since Rodney's been alive.
prison. I've been to prison twice.
You've been to prison
That's the only
twice.
thing that ever kept me away from my son. It was just 6 months at a time when he was younger. So I guess it wasn't really that impactful, but it was.
And of course, she doesn't disclose the types of crimes she was
Lady,
locked
you
up
crazy
for,
as
so
hell.
I can't accurately judge how messed up of a person she might actually be. But if anything
She
is a
messed
good
up.
indicator
It might
of
not
how
be her fault,
damaged
but
she is as a person and a mother, it's the way her son Rodney turned
Right.
out to be with being in a gang, you know, committing arson, rapping about criminal behavior, smoking
Nah,
weed on camera.
If my mama would have seen me smoking on camera at 12 years old, man, or seen me on YouTube, somebody would have showed her a YouTube video of me, a drill rapper, nigga. Oh my god, like, man, she would have, man. Her and my dad would have tag teamed my ass. Do your homework on tag team. You feel me? Do your homework on tag team champions.
And a plethora
I'm
of
talking
other
about told
things.
me a
You
new
know,
one.
kids are often a reflection of their parents and their environment.
Oh,
They're like
so
little
yeah.
sponges that soak up every little thing, good or bad, and those
Right.
are the things that mold their character into the people that they will one day eventually be. Numerous studies that I've read personally have shown that the first 7 years of a child's life are the most important, as that is when their brains are rapidly developing its mapping system. And based on an article from Harvard, they say data from Harvard University shows that the brain develops rapidly during the first years of life. Before children turn 3 years old, they're already forming 1 million neural connections every single minute.
Damn.
These links become the brain's mapping system, formed by a combination of nature and nurture, especially serve and return interactions. Now, I'm not going to get into what nature and nurture is or what serve and return actually is. You can research those terms and understand what they mean on your own time.
Right.
However, I will say, if a child's first years of its life is filled with nothing but abuse, pain, and trauma, how do you think that child will end up
Exactly.
being?
And you hear her say, I went to prison twice for 6 months at a time. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was. Even though cause my son was young. Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You don't think that's a big deal that his daddy already left and then you went to prison twice? You thought, like, this shit
when it's
crazy to
older.
me,
I mean,
man.
there's a
I'm-
reason for why people
I'm
who are born
flabbergasted,
into
folks.
dangerously toxic environments where their days are filled with nothing but perpetual darkness typically end up becoming cold-hearted abusers themselves when they grow up. Unfortunately, that's most likely what's going to happen to Lil Rodney unless he can have some sort of strong father figure like mentor to give his life a complete 180 in the opposite direction that he's currently heading in. Sadly though, that most likely won't happen for him or for the thousands of other kids currently in his position. And I will acknowledge that the issue is much deeper than what I'm willing to cover in this video, as it would take way too much time to talk about. But I am hoping that Lil Rodney can get the help that he desperately needs so that he can at least have a chance at having a future. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Share and like the video.
I don't think it's a coincidence that your mama went to prison and then you went to prison. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents never went to prison. I never went to prison. You know what I'm saying? My girl parents never went to prison. She ain't never went to prison. Most niggas that I know that never went to prison, they parents ain't go to prison. And if they, and the few ones that I do know, like, you know what I'm saying? They parents was disappointed as hell. Like, boy, we ain't raised you like that. You wasn't know what you got going on, you know? It don't seem like he was raised right, folks. It seemed like he was raised to be baby savage. And that ain't really his fault for real. But this shit was just toe up from the flow up. Who baby got shot? Like, man, it's all type of crazy shit going on, boy.